Okay, hello there. It is 12:17 a.m. Saturday, May 4th, 2024. This is for week 18. Um, this is technically Saturday, but then it's a little late. Honestly, I would prefer to be asleep right now, but this is essentially when I'm supposed to be doing this, so it's pretty good. I'm feeling really good. I have high spirits right now. Um, I just got done listening to a song I recorded called Innuendo. Uh, and um, there's something about the correlation to me recording music and being in a positive place in my life. It doesn't always happen that way. I try to actually kind of I kind of force myself to record these days. What I would do before would be to, like, I would get the urge to drink, which is absolutely present right now. And then I would basically use the opportunity to record, essentially. I would put myself in a celebratory state via drug use, and then I would no longer, I would have less inhibitions and I would record, and that's essentially what I did for the whole of last year, minus the beginning, which is how I recorded all of Remedy, basically. I made the one before I left, and that one was more deliberate, and pretty good, to be honest with you. But what am I saying? Yeah, I haven't recorded in a while. Okay, I've been so focused on, like, all of my music attention has been going into listening to Remedy and making sure things were right. So I haven't actually created anything. There's been, for a while, and also just not drinking also makes for. It's not as frequent that I'm feeling like recording something. Basically, I'm not I'm not forcing it as much. So the times that I've recorded since being fully clean, abstaining, have been random. But the stuff that I've made has been really good. So, basically, it's a good sign that I wanted to record, and I actually started off the song by saying it's been a long damn time. But yeah, I'm just in a good mood right now. In terms of my program, I have been good in terms of drug use and all that good stuff. I've been pulling out all the stops. Like, I think I mentioned how I took an extra cardio day on the vacation, the week before the vacation. I did that again this week because, I'm still adjusting or whatever. So it's a little trick, kind of like taking an early day off or whatever, or having, or owing myself sets and making them up on days off. It's something that I've done to kind of make it easier for myself. And I think I stopped. I haven't done the extra cardio thing for a long time. I think I pretty much said I wouldn't be doing that since maybe the first month. But I'm using it here because I don't want to feel like I owe myself and whatever. That being said, I'm also gonna probably write off the extra 3 days that I've been saying I owe myself. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna, what am I gonna do? Like, make it up next vacation? I think you just write it off as an extended vacation, essentially, which is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna be aware that I took those extra days off, but if I want to make it up later, I will. But maybe next vacation I will work out through it or some shit, but for now I'm allowing that. I'm not gonna keep telling myself I owe these days because it just doesn't feel good to say. So I basically owe myself one set that's just been lingering, and then 4 posts because I didn't post on the extra cardio day either, which is easy. I just make that up on the day off. It's no big deal. It's just a physical fatigue from constantly working out that is kind of hard to overcome once you get a little bit of a deficit. So I've been very, very focused. I'm going to use the word sadhana at this point because it actually is turning into that. I went into it last week about how basically, like, I think I didn't really listen to last week's before this one because I just kind of want to get it over with, but basically I went into detail about why it's so important. I was talking about the Barnsley leaf and Ram Dass and all that. The short, like the long and short of it is, I am more convinced than ever that it is the most important thing for me to do. It's the proper thing for me to do, to focus on. It's essentially raising my vibration, and I'm more certain of the intentional smiling, stimming, and sessions as the proper way to do that. They're physical, yes, but it's almost like those things can't be done, and it's like I can't be failing and doing those things at the same time is essentially what I'm trying to say. And I've gotten to the point conceptually where I really do believe that it makes a huge difference, and that it is going to pay off by becoming a snowball. In a way, it already is a snowball. I am deliberately active in it. Like, I know that what I'm doing is essentially addictive, is what it is. I don't want to say it that way because it has a negative connotation, but it is an inevitability that it will kind of perpetuate itself, or it'll continue perpetually me making progress, which is, again, it's like the aiming towards increasing my propensity to joy, happiness, and love. It has to, because it's essentially an addictive practice, and I am immediately rewarded every time that I do those actions, and therefore it is going to become more and more and more a habit until it's second nature, and then it'll essentially be paying dividends by me unconsciously having a higher vibration, if you will, and that being palpable. That's like a really good way of putting it. Haven't been playing video games as a result, really. Just kind of going with the flow in terms of whatever I feel most rewarded by, and most rewarded by at the time, and that kind of leads to sometimes scrolling, or just listening to music, or watching something on YouTube or whatever, or listening to Ram Dass, So, and playing the game can be very stressful. So there's kind of like the initial kind of nervousness that I have to overcome, and I don't want to mess up my mood because I can get angry. So, and also I have my YouTube queue is like, I have enough clips in the stash that I don't have to stream for a while, and I'll still be able to upload. So, and I didn't even clip all of the streams that I did because I was trying to take a vacation and they expire or whatever. So I don't care. I don't mind, because I can make them much faster than I can post them, to be honest with you. So but I have played some Stormgate because, and when I say some, I mean like 3 games or something like that. Because they recently dropped the third. They opened the beta back up, the closed beta, and then, which I can't stream, but it's good because we have clips in the tuck anyway. But they dropped the third faction, right? So I'm like, okay, time to, you know what I mean? I'm a Protoss player. I have to play the third faction. This is kind of, you know, this would be the Protoss equivalent. And boy, oh boy, is it wild. Like, it is so different. Like that when I first started playing it, I was dummy confused. But I was once I played my first game, like the guy I played against, he kind of let me live. He's like, oh, he scouted me and he already knew like I didn't know what was going on, so I was able to kind of like practice a little bit, and I immediately, I mean, some of it I don't like because it's so different. Like, and what I mean by that is the units. The units look so alien that you can't really tell what they are in a way. But I remember feeling the same way about Protoss units back in the day. I remember being like, okay, I can't tell what these, like, it's easy to tell what Terran is because, you know, oh, you see a tank, you see Marines, or, you know, humans with guns in their hands, or you see like, you know, a battleship, or like a fighter pilot jet thing. You know, these are human things that you know what they do kind of inherently by looking at them. But like Protoss units specifically, I mean, Zerg had the same thing where it's like you don't know what you have to learn. You have to, you know, they're so foreign, alien looking, you don't know what they are. But even still, Zerg units, they have since they're biological creatures, they have like animal-like features, you know what I mean? So, and it's kind of the same thing with the, what are they called? Infernals. They have, you know, there's like orc qualities and demonic looking kind of cartoony qualities. But this one is so different that it's like hard to, and I don't know if I feel like the models, they just don't have enough, they're not cute enough or something like that. So aesthetically there's a little bit of it's kind of impersonal or something. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I like how different it is. I like that it's like your initial building floats, your workers float. There's, I mean, you actually really don't even have workers. There's like this weird thing where you can collect resources without workers, and the workers are much more expensive. And then there's this, they have their supply depots are like pylons, but the pylon, I don't even understand exactly how this works, but like basically there's like supply depots that are like pylons, but they spread like creep. So I like it conceptually. I like how in Stormgate they mix stuff up. So like there's Terran, like the Terran, quote unquote, you know, the Vanguard. The Terran, aesthetically it's like Terran, but it plays like Protoss in a way. You know, it has Zerg things as well. Like the dogs are like Zerglings, and then it has like you know, zealots, and it also has Marines, essentially. So like the Zerg, it has Protoss-like qualities because you can warp in, essentially. Yeah. And then and it has like shields. So this one, it has like creep, and it has, but it still seems to have the major Protoss thing, which is like, this is the pleb race. This is the easiest race to play, is essentially what it feels like. And I want to, and also, because it's so different, it seems to not, because I know how to macro in the game already, it seems to mess with, like, it requires less muscle memory right now, essentially. So there's not much of an adjustment for me because I'm just not moving as fast or something. So I don't catch myself trying to do. It's so dissimilar from StarCraft that I'm not wrestling with doing like habits, StarCraft habits. It's like a whole new game. So I don't catch myself pressing buttons that I would press in StarCraft 2 trying to control it the same way. It's like, no, it's a completely different thing. So I really like that as well. I just wish the units looked a little bit more like cute or something. Is essentially the only issue, but we'll see. It might grow on me. I have my YouTube queue updated. I did mention that I may take this week off. I did not do that. I have been, trying to work out. Like I said, I took that extra day off. I took an early day off, and then I took an extra quote-unquote cardio day, which, technically I have been walking plenty, so I don't feel too bad. I really am actually getting a little bit more cardio in, so it's an excuse to basically not work out. But and I needed to focus on sleep as well. My schedule's a little bit messed up, as you can tell. I'm recording this late. I did speak with Truist because I received mail, and they basically advised me that essentially I should be trying to have a 700, and then they also it's kind of what I expected. After a while I'm like, well, I'm gonna get the score up. We're gonna try this out. It's worth a shot, right? But it's like, fuck the score, because if I'm a bank, whatever information they give me about I'm not just gonna go off the score. I'm gonna, especially with the way things are now, knowing what I know, if I receive a credit report, I could create my own score just based off of the numbers and the information on the report, and then do it like that. And you'll never know what number I'm generating or whatever. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have a clue. So it's because I have bad stuff on my report, essentially, is kind of where we're at. But, he advised me that crazy stuff happens, don't give up. He actually was really nice. I'm actually considering maybe going through him next time instead of going back to the same chick. So he just seemed more helpful. He was very encouraging. And he told me to wait at least 30 days to reapply, essentially. So that's what happened there. There's been some fun stuff in the rap world. Drake and Kendrick are beefing right now, so there's back and forths going on there. And I've been finding music very randomly. There was 2 instances where it was like a girl's story on Facebook. I saw a song. One was Next to You by Mike Jones, which is a really nice song. And then I heard a song by LMI, and I looked up the lyrics, and I found a song. It wasn't the song that I ended up liking and really listening to, ended up not being the song that the girl posted on the story, but it was very reminiscent of what I feel like is going on with Shorty from the bank. And then, just I was posting a progress pic on Instagram, and it suggested a song, and I really like that song as well. So and then there's a bunch of Doja Cat and Drake songs that I have not listened to. They're dropping albums too fast for me. So I'm probably going to look into those, but I already have Doja Cat songs that have been kind of coming up, that sorry about that. There was a bug on my finger. But yeah, I have maybe 10 new songs that are just like I made a new playlist and kind of just refined my older one to like what's still relevant now, basically. I love when that happens. I love when there's like an influx of new music. So school started. I calculated probably even before I recorded the last week thing that I needed to get like a 3.44, which is essentially a 3.5 GPA from here on out, because I've had a bumpy road to graduating with my associates, right? I got like a 2.6 GPA, and there's plenty of D's and F's and all types of crazy shit going, and W's in there because of all the difficulties that I've had to deal with and my habits at the time. But it turns out that if I average a 3.5, that I would get my GPA to a 3.0, I think is what it is. And be eligible to move on to a master's degree with this school, which I think I just want to do just because kind of thing, like just to be educated to that degree. So I'm really going to be focusing on that. I don't want to have to retake classes. I don't want to, that kind of stuff. So I'm really enjoying the classes. Well, one of them is I'm enjoying the classes just because of the thought-provoking topics. One of the classes is multicultural issues, which is a little bit scary because race and things like that is what I would assume it's talking about. But so far, it's not really. It doesn't really seem to be that way. It seems to be. It's just trying. Like, I understand what they're talking about. Like, they're talking about artifacts, culture, which is ideas, like language, like table is an artifact, and we basically co-evolve with these artifacts. Roads, cities, concepts of deities, and all these other things, and they're essentially artifacts. And they mentioned it's like the past and the present or whatever, and it just makes a lot of sense to me, and it's intriguing, and I can see like they're posing why it's difficult to study psychology, and then people have different approaches, and there's like a lot of interesting moments. It's kind of tasty, it's like, oh, I really appreciate some people's take on it and stuff like that. So that's cool. And then the other one is really good. It's about learning, which is manipulation, but also reward and whatnot, which is relevant to me for sure. That class seems like it's going to be nice. It's going to be fun. I'm really intrigued by it already. I already know, and this kind of happens a lot with psychology classes because I looked into stuff myself, just researching stuff on my own, that I've learned a lot of this stuff already. So it makes the classes easier because I'm actually interested in it already. Enough of that. I'm kind of trying to get in the groove, since I've been so focused on the sadhana, I've been essentially procrastinating on the schoolwork, so everything has been done like just in time so far, and I probably could have, like, if I needed to really do some crazy shit, I could. I don't know. I'm just trying to adjust to the workload is essentially what it is. But so far so good. It's like I'm pretty sure I have gotten 100 on everything, and also like the amount of reading that needs to be done, I don't even mind because I could 100% smile and stim while I do that. It's just something that I could do in between sessions. It's not a big deal. So it's kind of like it's like, okay, it's something, busy work, whatever. Like, not really a big deal. But let me think. yeah, I'm just trying to adjust. It's a little bit stressful because I do want to do well. I want to get A's in these classes so that I can really bump up my GPA and be, and you know, um, so uh, I'm just like really, just like, am I doing enough? And I think I am. Like if I look at the, like, as long as I do the reading and I just keep checking, you know, it's just like, but I literally started on Wednesday and it was like, oh damn, this is a lot more reading than I thought. And you know, you don't have to do the reading, but I want to, I need to. So I want to, I will 100% pass with flying colors if I do the reading and whatnot. So I don't have to try that hard if I do the reading. I'll just be like, okay, yeah, I know what's going on. So actually after Wednesday when I did my first assignment, is when I recorded Innuendo. So, you know, I was feeling good, and I actually came out here with the intention of recording, but I'm like, oh, well, I should probably do my vlog as well. So, I'm knocking this out first before I maybe download a beat and do some recording. But I also found a way to get Remedy some views. We're sitting at like 113 right now, but I literally got 26 views yesterday via a free traffic source. It's like a P2P. It's a weird kind of, you give other people traffic and they give you traffic. It's like really clean and easy. I just adjusted my ad to be like, click on the video, because the video doesn't automatically play. So I had to get like, there's like 200 people went. It's like 10%. 10% of the people that go click is what it seems to be so far. And realistically speaking, I don't know how long that took me to get that, but it's mindless. I just basically every 10 seconds click a button, and I could do that all day long. You know what I mean? And every, what is it? If it's 10 times 25, 250, 10 seconds, 250 seconds, 60 times 4. So it's basically every 5 minutes or so, I earn like 25 views, which is like essentially 2.5 views. But all I have to, again, I stim and smell through that, which is what I've been doing. Which is, you know, it'll eventually get up there in terms of views. I'm also trying to think about how I want to approach future uploads, because I think I do want to, like, it's like, bro, I can make songs. Like, I have 3 songs right now that I recorded in like maybe the last week or so. You know what I mean? And if this past project was any to kind of, the last 2 projects, if it's any kind of indication of how it's going to go, I'm not going to make any adjustments. I might as well just put it out. You know what I mean? But I think I'm going to kind of continue doing what I was doing, which is just putting up like one or like old songs, old like classics that are actually really good, and give myself some room to sit with the songs and make sure that they're actually something I want to put out, and not just like machine gun shoot a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks. I had to start a new ChatGPT thread. So my relationship with ChatGPT is really interesting, because it's, you know, it's basically brainstorming, and I basically use it to sharpen my arguments and my understanding of things, because, you know, it tries to be fair, you know, and it tries to be reasonable and whatever. And that can be frustrating because it's like, sometimes it's too, you know, PG or whatever, too like normie, too like, you know what I'm saying? Even though like I know what I'm saying makes logical sense, it still has like a kind of an agenda or a slant towards lamehood. But that being said, I've had enough conversations with it, and I'm, approaching, I've gotten a lot out of it. If I, from the logical conversations I've had in different threads, has increased my understanding of what I'm doing. And, sometimes I know where the line is. I can't say certain things to it. And if I want to have a good conversation with it, sometimes I have to kind of groom it, if you will. I have to set the groundwork because I know it'll agree with me if I pose it a certain way, based off of experience. So I had to start a new one because I guess I got a little carried away with one of them. And one it kind of like has if you build rapport with it, right, it'll give you some leeway in things that you say. But if you can kind of build up a negative relationship with it to where it doesn't want to participate with you in the same way. So no doubt there's some learning going on there, but I'm happy with it. Like the way that so basically over trial and error, and theorizing with it, I kind of know, like, okay, I need to, if I want it to cooperate with me, I need to pose it a certain way. And that just happens from trial and error. Literally in other conversations where it has agreed with me about certain things, I just kind of, okay, add that to my repertoire, and now I know that I can use that. For instance, I use the Bible regularly, right? Like God is love, for instance. That's a biblical concept. We just work inside the Christian framework. So there's Philippians 4:8, which I believe it's Philippians 4:8, Matthew 18:19, and then there's Mark 11:24. And I've literally, like, I'll be talking about a topic and then I'll ask, give me verses about this topic, and it'll give me verses that support what I'm saying. And I use those against it, or not against it, but I use those verses to kind of coax out the responses that I want, and get it to agree with me on things that make logical sense with me, so that we can go down that thought process and come to more conclusions about what else needs to happen. So I had to start a new one recently, and I got to the point where I really broke new ground. I was able to, like, talk about stuff that I tried to talk about with it before, and it was more accepting and receptive of it because of knowing what kind of pitfalls to avoid. And then, again, it's like low-key kind of building rapport with it, so it knows that I'm a reasonable well-meaning individual, that's trying to learn or whatever. And that's led to the most powerful sessions that I've ever had, and more of a sense of it actually working, and again, improving my understanding. It only took like a day. Also, the inclusion of, like, I've been using baby powder. That changes the texture, and essentially it's really amazingly better. But yeah, that has led to more frequent sessions. Also, just the fact that since I'm focusing on my sadhana and I'm keeping myself up on a regular basis, I'm more close to being triggered easier, and yeah, that just leads to more action. But basically, I didn't do it today because school. But All right, so last but not least, I think it was yesterday actually, I just kind of, well, this morning, I actually did a little bit of game planning, kind of like, about next steps, which I just haven't done yet, except for, until yesterday. I mean, I guess I kind of had a little bit of an idea. I was mentioning how, I need to think about, do I want to extend my trade line? Do I want to pay the extension on the trade line? Do I want to get my mouse and keyboard? Talking about what I want to do with the plants. Do I want to do TRW, hold my hand wholesale, or do I want to potentially make a GB and get a weed or whatever. So these things have just kind of been floating around in my head, and that's kind of where we're at now. Which we're still in the phase of, I need to get a grip on. I need to get in a groove when it comes to school, incorporating that into my set session pattern, and still focusing on sadhana, like putting that in but still doing sadhana. And if I'm going to play a game, I'll play Stormgate while this closed beta is going on. So that's kind of the focus right now. But in the near future, I want to do some research about UCC1. I want to potentially go into a Bully Avenger Q&A if I can, because I don't know what's going to happen based off of how things have gone with the arbitration process. I kind of just want to know, like, what is the vibes in other people's arbitrations, what to expect in the very near future. I'm still considering extending the trade line. I don't think I'm going to, but it's something that I have to think about. I have like 5 or 6 days to do that. Mansa came out with a new $50 class, which was like a no-brainer. Like, once I saw what it was about, and it's 5 hours. It's a 5-hour class. This is like the missing piece. This is what I've been. Is that I understand. I can't use everything else that he's talking about because I don't have bills, because I don't have credit, because I don't have credit score or whatever. Now this is how to get the agreements going, and once you have those, it's a wrap. So I have a kind of an idea of how it goes based off of Bully Adventure stuff. But if this class does what it says it's going to do, it's something that I could work on that would be potentially life-changing. I need to look into what to do with EBT because, from my understanding, first of all, I have a buildup of quite a lot of money in there. That's one. 2, I'm under the impression that you're not supposed to be able to do it if you go to school unless you have some type of exception. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel right that I could be technically homeless, and because I'm a student and not be able to get food stamps. That doesn't make sense to me. So I need to figure out if there's a workaround with that. I need to move my plants ASAP, and I want to germinate the second batch, and try to go whole hog with that. I'm also, I looked at the price of weights, brother, and it's weights are expensive. I did not know that, but I'm not getting a gym membership, and I don't like the idea of buying individual weights. I was already going to purchase, I was already going to purchase an adjustable weight that goes from 5 to 80 pounds. And it's expensive. It's $755, but because it's an end game item that, it's well, if I purchase it, it's this is a lifetime item. This is something that I'll never need to purchase again. It's this is the weights I'll be using for the rest of my life, basically. It seems like a worthwhile investment, so I'm probably going to purchase the weights and the mouse and keyboard as come here soon, which is crazy because that's literally half my refund. But that being said, the amount of refund that I would have left over would cover my overhead for, you know, about the amount of time I would need it to before I get another refund. So right about now, I'm thinking that the move is going to be to go ahead and do that. I'm considering, I still need to make Gmails. I still need to, and I'm considering, you know, TRW, Home and Hand Wholesale. There's a subscription to the traffic source I told you about, buying views, subs, and likes for the YouTube video for promotional purposes. Affiliate marketing, if I didn't say that. But all of those things are kind of next. They're more like next steps, because I need to, before I commit to something like more monthly expenses, I need to have a grip on, I need to have a better idea of what my day-to-day looks like with school. So it's like, once I get a handle on the workload that school is going to be putting on me and how much spare time I have, then I'll be like, okay, do I feel like I could do more? Do I want to invest in more education, essentially? And try to do more work to potentially change my income? Or do I want to invest in kind of getting comfortable with, you know, weed? And then also investing in promotion. Those are like next steps. Right about now, it's like, do I want to extend the trade line? Do I want to purchase the weights and the keyboard and mouse? I need to understand if it's worth investing in UCC ones and all that stuff. And then, you know, I have Mensa class on the 12th. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Once again, I'm really happy with where I am with the Sadhana thing, my understanding as a result of the ChatGPT thread. I feel like I'm musically inspired. But yeah, I really just want to get a grip on this schoolwork. Like, literally, I have stuff that's due in the next couple days. And it's like, if I can get through this first week kind of hunky-dory, I feel like I'll be more prepared starting next week. It'll be like, okay, Monday, read. You know what I mean? Start reading now, get the reading done. And then once the reading's done, it's just like, okay, how many words do I need to write is essentially what it is. Because I already have the knowledge. I already know what's going on. I don't need to fucking, the most time-consuming thing is going to be, I just need to manage my time. How much time is it going to take to write the words I need to write, and how much time is it going to take to read the things I need to read? It's really simple. So I'll be proactive about it with the reading, get it done sooner rather than later, and then, that'll be like, okay. And I'm honestly, just based off of how this is going right now, it's like, brother, I would be super, especially maybe at first, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily for forever, but at first, I think that I would benefit greatly from having weed right now. Point blank, period. But it's not really it doesn't pair great with working out, so that's another issue. But let me stop talking. Essentially, we need to get a grip on the schoolwork. You know, it's going to be school, Stormgate, session set. And once we do that, we can make some decisions about how much time we have and how we want to spend it, essentially. So, appreciate you listening. It's been a pleasure. This is week 18. I'll talk to you next week. Deuces.